Hey, hey! Hey, hey! I have seen your face before. Look twice, then I'll look some more. Catch eyes, cheeks blush, gaze down at the floor. Hey, hey! My mind starts to play again, floats out to another space. You and I found love from bird's eye, and we fell inside. Hey, hey!
Welcome to the Daisy Show. I apologize for the snafus. That situation normal all fouled up. I apologize about that. Lima, Peru's between 10 million and 15 million people. So with the lockdown and everything, the web's getting kind of, hot. So, and then the phone lines. So I was trying the phone, and so this is a straight record, upload to YouTube, and available on the website and the Facebook page, Sam Bell Show Facebook page. Okay, so I'm going to channel 3 guardian angels for Marilyne in Quebec, Carmen in Puerto Rico, and Violeta in Peru. 3 lovely ladies, I'm sure. And I want to say hi to Linda in Madrid, Juliana in Bucharest, Manu in Zurich, Forrest in Tennessee, and Sarah in California. So, first person is Marilyne. Marilyne, you are a wonderful, sweet, young person. Wonderful, sweet, young person. Okay, the first thing, you really, 6 reallys is the maximum and be normal. 6 is the maximum be normal. Really. So you're a mild, outside normal, try to please. You just try to please. That's the story. Try to please. Next thing, you really, which is mid-normal. 6 is the max normal. Really, so mid-normal. Like to please. So you like to please mid-normal, but you're always trying more than max normal, okay? Try really hard, like a little bit, okay. Next thing, no issues with control, okay? Because you're so nice, the control that you desire, that you have, it doesn't bug people, okay? But from just your perspective, you really like control. But you're so nice about everything, it doesn't feel that way to anybody else. Okay, so it's very sweet. It's very, very nice. Okay, and on top of the whole thing, underpinning the entire thing, the structure, the framework that everything's built upon, you're really. 6 really is the maximum be normal, really. So it's slightly outside normal. Spiritual, okay, very spiritual. You do not have any evil intentions. You could not hold an evil intention, sweetheart. Okay. So, responsible person, strong willpower, intelligent. Likes control, it makes a commitment, they're going to do it. Not willy-nilly, and very spiritual person. So it's a wonderful combination. There's no reason not just to love you to pieces, sweetheart. Okay? So now you have a signature here. You want to see if there's any suggestions. Yeah, your guardian angel is sharing with Daisy, my guardian angel, and Daisy's trying to take this spiritual telepathy and kind of put it into cookies with walnuts and chocolate chips and kind of force it into my head so that I can take these feelings, these empathies, these empathic sensations, and attach them to language thought forms, and then attach them to the sounds for the words, that when you hear them in your ears, you will understand what it is your guardian angel is conveying to Daisy, and Daisy's trying to get into my head. Okay, so I accept full responsibility if it screws up between Daisy and me. That's where, if there's going to be any boo-boos, that's where it'll be, and I accept responsibility for it. Money back guarantee. Okay, so what's the suggestion? Suggestion is, because you're so sweet, because you're so loving, because you're so ungreedy, because you're so spiritual, because you try so hard, it really pisses you off when somebody does rude stuff, disrespectful stuff to you or to someone you love. It just really upsets you. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of people like that. And since you're so fine, you're going to be more sensitive to that sort of disrespectfulness of another human being. And you don't want your life to constantly be interrupted by responding to cognitively underendowed and bovine people. And there's a lot of them. There's about 60% of the population's kind of like, you know, you don't want to hang with them. That's a lot. And the other 40%, that's why the ratio is 60-40, because the 40 need something to push against to be strong, strengthen themselves for lessons that are charted on the earth. Okay, for you to learn before you go back to heaven. These are lessons that are not available in heaven. Kind of uncomfortable stuff. But then you get to go to heaven. It's all cool. It's very cool. So, suggestion is, if you can understand that for the most part, these people are not evil to do this stupid stuff. They're really not evil. They're just stupid. Okay, they're not aware of the consequences they're creating. So, there's actually very few evil people that do evil stuff. There's only very few of those, thank goodness. There's a lot of people like, they're just greedy, you know, greedy for everything, me, you know, but they're not really evil. So if you can understand that there's a separation there, and those are lessons those people are trying to learn. Those are their lessons. Those are not your lessons. Those are their lessons. Those are not your lessons. You've climbed to the top of the mountain. Okay? You've already learned to love yourself and others. Okay? Now you got to climb back down the other side of the mountain and treat yourself in a loving fashion. And you treat yourself in a loving fashion by increasing your threshold for bullshit so you don't get pissed. Okay? All right? So when people do stupid stuff around you, you don't get so angry. Okay? Because it's too upsetting. Right? Because you're so sweet and nice all the time, and then when you get upset about something that's really powerful, you know, that's a lesson there to learn, that you're going to have to work on allowing yourself to increase your threshold for frustration and increase your patience. And I know you can do that because you're so strong-willed. Okay, sweetheart, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. All right. Next person. Next person is Carmen. Hello, Carmen, from Puerto Rico. Carmen. Wow, Carmen, you are one fine human being. Nice to meet you. Wow. Whew. Okay, Carmen, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. There's no judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha, and I will tell you the important things first. First thing, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. That's it. Okay? You are not a crazy maker. Okay? Strong, stable, consistent. Strong, stable, consistent. Seriously, strong, stable, consistent. So, wow. So the first thing, most important thing, you really, 6 reallys is the maximum meant to be normal. Really. So it's a mildly outside normal. Like to please. You really like to please. Everything you do is because you like to please. That's why you're such a sweetheart. Man, I bet people just love you everywhere. Yay, Carmen! Loves to please. Okay? All right. Next thing, she really, which is low normal. Okay, really is 3. That's mid-normal. 6 is max normal. You're really, which is low normal. Sorry. Low normal. Try to please. Okay, major discrepancy. You like to please like a, superpower. You try to please like, a Honda 50. Okay? It's pretty good. Because you won't burn out. And you get a kick out of everything you do. People love you. You're just probably the most fabulous person on the block. Wouldn't doubt it. Okay. Next thing, Carmen. You make a whole bunch of time for yourself. That's why you're so nice. Because you make so much time for yourself. Which is a blessing. Okay. Which means if you're going to do something, you're going to do it correctly. Because you're going to approach it in a fashion that it gets taken care of systematically and gets finished, everything gets put away nice and tidy. Yes, indeedy. So, that's the whole story for Carmen. Okay. Likes to please like a nut, tries to please, okay. Easy to get along with, no issues with control, makes a lot of time for herself, just a very loving person, no matter what, 100% of the time. And that's the amazing part. That's the amazing part. It is so amazing. It's truly amazing. It's not, to be a person incarnated today. Carmen, you're a very nice person. Now, are you open for a suggestion? Well, I got your name here. Carmen from Puerto Rico. Okay, here's the suggestion coming from your guardian angel who's been at your right-hand side this whole time through all that you've been through. All the, that you've gone through, all the that you've gone through. And your guardian angel's telling Daisy telepathically, they just kind of like it's a big download, light beam goes from your guardian angel into Daisy. And now Daisy's trying to make meatballs out of it, feed it to me. Here's the scoop, sweetheart. I understand the trials. I understand the tests. I understand the difficulties. I understand the strength, the willpower, the courage, the spine that you exhibit all the time. Okay, I understand all that stuff. It's evident. I don't think there's any memories of you not being that way. Okay, so you're a little bit too responsible. Okay? I know that is something you're like, what? Yeah. Okay? You're a little bit too responsible. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about for you. I'm talking about for everybody else. Okay? So, I mean, you're probably like the rock, the rock that everything's built around. And so, you're part of the brain pool of what decisions are going to be made, and especially critical, important decisions. Your input's going to be a part of the major framework, if not the major framework. So that's a responsibility, and you're the appropriate person to help with that burden. Additionally, if you consume too much of that responsibility, you're going to actually be denying some people to learn their lessons the hard way, because you'll make it so they don't learn their lessons the hard way, and some people won't learn some lessons, and then it could end up being a big boo-boo. So suggestion is, if you are, just take the perspective of, well, if I was to be a little bit less responsible, let people learn some lessons the hard way, they'd probably learn some lessons, and it'd be better to learn them now, fall off the skateboard because you ran into the tree, rather than, getting drunk and hitting the tree with a car. So it might feel like it's being irresponsible, but actually you're allowing these people to learn their lessons the hard way, because they need to learn these lessons. It's their right to learn their lessons. It's their right to learn their lessons the hard way. It's their lessons, it's not your lessons. So what happens is, if you just kind of ease up on that, it'll feel like you're being irresponsible, but actually you're not being irresponsible. But it'll feel that way at first. But then what happens is, as you sort of fade back a little bit, people will start to be more responsible for themselves. And then you move into where you naturally should be, much more spiritual position, because you're a very spiritual person, but you keep bringing yourself back down to be so responsible. Okay, you're a very spiritual person. Hardcore, big time. Okay, big time, big power. But you bring yourself back down by being so responsible. So you're the only one doing that to yourself, bringing yourself back down. And you got to relinquish it eventually. Hello? So it's kind of weird. It is kind of weird, because you're such a loving person. You feel like you love them less. No, you don't love them less. You're just helping them learn their lessons. Okay. Now, if they're going to do something terrible, you got to stop them. I'm not saying, but, and then what happens is, everything kind of shifts a little bit, and they start becoming more responsible for themselves, as they should. And then that gives you a little more dimensional space to be a little more spiritual in what you're doing. And that means doing something that you would like to do just for you. Because right now, the time you're doing it, you're doing it with other people, basically. I know you have a lot of extra time, but you're doing stuff with other people, because you like to please so much. All right. But see, what will happen if you're a little more spiritual, you might do a little meditation. It would be a good idea. It'd be a really good idea. If you're Puerto Rico, you speak Spanish. So, Fernando, would you please send her the Spanish meditation, please? Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, Carmen, let me think. Anything else? No, but just you're a super sweetheart. You're like saint-like. So, very nice to meet you. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Okay, next one is Violeta. Earth to Violeta, come in. Violeta from Peru. All right, let's see what we've got here. Hi, Violeta. Okay, Violeta, very nice. Thank you for being patient, and I apologize. I know this is coming out at least 24 hours later. It's disappointing for me, but it's not important. Where it's coming from a place where there's no time and space, and this is timed on lessons that are being learned synchronistically. So we get to work on a little patience here. Okay, Violeta, this is not how you perceive yourself. This is not how others perceive you. This is how Divine Source made you. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make you bad. It's just the way you are. There's no judgment whatsoever. You're not better than Hitler. You're not worse than Lord Buddha. And I will tell you the important things first. Okay, Violeta. You really, 6 reallys is the maximum be normal. Try to please. Maximum normal, try to please. You can't try any harder, you'd explode. Okay? So you're still normal, but you're max normal. Try to please. Okay? Next thing, you really 6 reallys, max normal, like to please. Okay? So you try to please max normal, maximum for normal, and you like to please maximum for normal. Okay? You got it bad. Try to please, like to please. Okay, so then, on top of liking to please and trying to please max normal, you allow yourself the flexibility to be outside of those definitions of pleasing people and liking to please people. So I wouldn't say it's 2 different personalities. I would say that it's a very loving energy, a loving energy for yourself and a loving energy for others, channeled into pleasing others and liking to please others. So it's about 250% of the normal unconditional love energy of a normal earth pilgrim. Okay, that makes sense. This very powerful unconditional love coming from you. Okay. I would say it would be a similar to a, if you have these wooden matches you strike, like to light a fireplace. One of those matches compared to a blowtorch, a big fire flame comes out the end. You're the blowtorch of unconditional love. Trying to please, liking to please. Big time. Big time. So the balance to that of trying to please and liking to please with your major love energies, the balance to that is something quite different, where you're very relaxed about things and you allow yourself to be relaxed about things. And I guess it's just it's a good evaluation of gratitude for the gifts that you have. I would say that's probably what it is. Now, an example would be, say, a stonemason. Okay? You go look at the finished product, you go, ooh, that's pretty cool, whatever it is, the thinker or whatever, I don't know. But the difficulty that went into pounding that marble into some, David statue or whatever the heck it is, was like really hard to do. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're putting that intensity of a Michelangelo. I don't know who did the David. I don't know. If you've ever been in the Vatican, you'll see these marble, holy water things about the size of a bathtub. It's like huge. Somebody had to make those. Like, oh my God, look at that. So that's kind of what you're like, okay? Powerfully, unconditionally loving. Very powerfully, unconditionally loving. So it's very difficult to be on a planet and be like that. Be this particular planet especially and be like that. It's very difficult. So the definition of how loving you are is going to be impacted by the environment that you're in. So you would want to make sure to include some very simple breathing meditation exercises for you. That would help a lot, okay? Because you're going to have to carve out some healing time for the inside of you, your inner self. You're worth it to take care of yourself that way. Helps with your blood pressure, okay? Also body temperature, digestion. And that's just breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. And when you inhale through the nose, you're visualizing the white light of the Holy Spirit going in through your nostrils. You go all the way in, and then when you exhale, you're visualizing any frustrations. Exhaled out your mouth visualizes so much smoke and burnt ash. And that'll really help cleanse the inside of you of the tensions and stuff. Okay? Because you're going really, 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 really fast. Okay? It's because you're productive. But it would be a helpful thing for you to consider doing some meditations. Fernando, what country is she? Peru. Can you send a Spanish meditation to Violeta? Okay. So, Violeta, to review, you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, you can't do anything wrong. Okay, you're just doing a hell of a lot more than you need to do. All right, for all the right reasons. And there's two different things in terms of your public liking to please and trying to please, and then a separate kind of entity, personality that's a separate entity that's quite different. And they're both different. So it's like maybe a public persona and a private persona. And that's very healthy because you can be what you want to be. To blend those two, it can't hurt to do some meditations because that's your higher self. And your higher self is going to treat yourself in a loving fashion. And you need some help slowing down, sweetheart. Okay? To start making a couple of seconds a day, like maybe 4 seconds a day, just for yourself. And do that little meditation. It's very easy. Right? Big time. Okay? All right. Sunrise and sunset, the meditation Fernando is going to be sending to you will be appropriate too. You just listen to it. Do what it says. 6 minutes, it's all over. Okay? It's also good at the desk, at work. Okay. You and all your loved ones, Violeta, are always in my prayers. Okay, that is it. And once again, I apologize for the snafus. Okay, just have a safe week with staying in place, staying indoors, only go outside with a mask on for who knows how long, another month, another 2 weeks, who knows. So it's an opportunity at this time to learn how to meditate. It's an opportunity at this time to have gratitude because you know what you're missing. And so when you get it back, you're going to go, oh, wow, I get to go for a walk. get to go to the store, whatever. And have gratitude for the time to build some strength inside yourself for improved inner focus, for loving yourself and loving others, treating yourself with unconditional love and treating others with unconditional love. You're going to have to do it anyway. Okay? All right. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Bye-bye.